Alright, hello, and welcome to a little Tarkov video I wanted to make, just talking about my thoughts and suggestions for the Ground Zero map. It is a new map that they added in the 0.14 wipe/update, meant to be a bit of a beginner map so that people could learn the game. Originally it was meant to be you could only play it up to level 20, and then it would be locked off once you hit 21. But they have planned to change that in the future because people suggested that you'd be able to play it after that because it kind of just locks the map off. People still want to play it. It adds more variety, all that good stuff. So they plan to change it so that there's two different queues for the map. One from 1 to 15 for the beginners, and then after level 15, you go into the full queue with everybody else. So I have played this map quite a lot because they planned to make it just to level 20. I assumed that it was going to stay that way, rightly so, because there was no plans to change it at that point. So for the start of the wipe, I planned to play it for the full first 20 levels. I was just going to play straight that map. I wasn't going to do any tasks other than the ones on that map, so I could get as much playtime on the map as possible. And even though they did say that they were going to change it so you could play the map afterwards, we don't know when that change is going to come through. And I had already committed to it, so I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to keep doing it. So I played 189 raids on the map, all the way to level 21, didn't do any tasks, just to get as much maximum playtime as I could. And because I've played so much of it, I do feel like I'm in a good spot to give my opinion. I think that I've played more of it than the vast majority of the player base, excuse me. Vast majority of the player base, I feel like I've played way more than the vast majority of them on this map. So I think I can give some valid opinions and suggestions for the map going forward. Overall, I think it's decent, and I do express my full thoughts in the next part where I walk through the map in offline mode and talk about each segment of the map and parts that I think the map could be improved on. I do think it has some problems, but I do think these problems can be easily fixed. And I'm glad that they're changing it because it adds a little bit more variety to the game. This is obviously only like 2 weeks after the wipe, and now I'm not going to be able to play the map again until they change it. You can play player scav on it, but I don't really enjoy player scav all that much these days, so I don't plan to play the map until they change it. But I tried to get as much playtime out of it as I could to have a valid opinion on it and just to have fun on it until it closes out. So with that said, we'll jump straight into the offline raid where I walk around and talk about the map. Alright, just gonna drop everything, reduce my weight. Also nice not having a weapon equipped. Alright, I think this is I think we'll start at Emercom. I feel like that's the best way to do it. Make sure to turn the AI scabs off so I don't get shot. But yeah, we're just gonna be walking around. I'm gonna say things that I think could be changed, and things that I think should be added as well. But I think there is, and also things that I like about the map. I think this map overall is good in theory, but some of the gameplay elements are kind of bad right now. We'll start at Emercom. I think this extract is actually really good. I think that the way this extract is really good. I like this little room. It's got a bit of loot in it. I do think the overall loot on this map is quite low. I think the overall loot on this map is quite low, and I hope that when they do create a different queue for it, the other queue has better loot. Because pretty much, other than the underground and like filing cabinets in some of the hot spots, there really isn't very much loot to go around, like at all, to be honest. Especially compared to other maps. So if you want people to play this map, you know, past level 15, past their beginner tasks, your best bet is like you got to increase the loot. You just have to. I think this area is really quite nice, actually. I like this area. I do think that potentially a side door here could be nice. Like just a little way in through here. But that might make it a bit too easy to extract. That's just like a thought. not needed because you can jump through this window. So a little extra room here could be cool though. Something going on in this room. You can see in there. Because I do think the map's quite small. I feel like if you want it to be a map that people play, because like they originally intended it to be like just for level 20s, or like up to level 20, but now that so they didn't expect people to play it very long, so it doesn't really need to have much depth to it. But I feel like now that they're increasing it, which I think they should give more stuff on the map. I think this area is fine. I think this is all fine, honestly. I don't think anything needs to be added here. It could be nice to put like some loot here. I think the scav co-op extract, nobody's going to use it because it's really hard to cooperate with people and trust a player scav in this game, but it's still nice as an option. And it's quite close to the Emercom anyway, so it's not like you need to take it or anything. I think some loot like out here along this wall could be cool. Maybe like some kind of like stand or something, like a food stand. I think that the parking garage is good. I like the parking garage as well. I think it's quite unique, and I like how you traverse. We'll go through the territory building. Cool. I think this is all good. This parking garage is quite unique. It gives kind of like a labs feel. It does feel kind of like labs. And I like that you can go out to the front if you want to, or you can go down this. This tunnel is fucking death, but it's cool. It's not like badly designed or anything. It's just like, it is definite death. I feel like this tunnel is good, but the staircase is not. This whole room is designed quite well. I feel like there's like little nooks and crannies you can hide in. It's obviously like a hot spot. You expect people to fight around here. You've got the big main door. I think that's all fine. I like that there's two entrances. I don't think this needs to be cut down too much. But also I like all the bodies everywhere. It gives like quite a unique loot feel to the map, because bodies like have a lot of unique spawns to them. So it's cool to have as many of them as there are. So I like that. This, in my opinion, is really bad, and a lot of the spots on this map are designed like this. Like a lot of the hot spots are super campable. Like this is just like a really shit doorway. You can climb up on here and just lean around the corner. I mean, like, what is anybody actually going to do? The wood, by the way, is so loud as well. Like, it's got, like, such a unique noise to it. You're going to hear anybody coming up from a mile away, and it's pretty rough. I do like that the loot is quite far away from the main door, so you can't really, like, camp it and loot at the same time. I think these rooms are fine, but for like the hot spots of the map, the loot does need to be increased. Like maybe some weapon crates. I mean, it is Terra Group. I don't think it'd be too weird to have some weapon crates in here. You could also add some extra rooms in here. I don't think that'd be crazy to add some extra rooms just to like flesh out this place if you actually are increasing the loot. Also, I like that you can exit through here. You run out the window. You can do this. You can go down safely. I think that's quite nice to have like an extra external escape route, but it is quite risky. You're out in the open. I think that the windows up there are really nice for sniping as well. And I also think you can get into the quest room by climbing around the outside ledge, which is nice. I think this room needs some loot in it. It needs something. There's like no reason to come in here other than like if you're looking for cover. Like there's not even really any food, to be honest. There's just nothing in here. This is like, I've barely been in here. I've been in here like twice. So, there's one body. So there could be some stuff in here. It'd be nice if there was. Oh, look. One cigarette. Oh, actually, no, it's not even lootable. Okay. This whole, like, courtyard, I hate that these bushes... Actually, those ones don't. That one does. I hate that these bushes slow you down. There's so many of them. Like, if they're just, like, for scenery, I feel like these shouldn't really slow you down. Because it makes it kind of like hell to go in through this area. You've got all these vault things, you've got all these water features you have to go through, then you've got all these bushes slowing you down. It's just not pleasant to be out here, which means that nobody ever comes out here. So it's not great. I do think that there should also be like a big tent here. I think this is a really good idea to add some kind of big tent to this courtyard. So there's a reason to come out here. Maybe later in the raid when there's less people around. Like a big, like, just like a tent with a whole bunch of weapon crates in it. You know what I mean? Maybe some medical loot, that kind of thing. Like, kind of like the camp on woods, right? The FOB. That would be cool. Something like that. Not something crazy, but just like a small little tent. It'd also give you some cover. You know what I mean? Because, like, this place is pretty fucked for cover. And nobody ever comes out here. Like, ever. So, I also think that in terms of getting from one side of the map to the other, you can go underground and you can go down there, but it'd be nice if there was a third option with just like a bit of cover up here, because like, and you've got these trucks. So the thing is like after you get past the trucks, you're just out here on the road, which feels a bit shit. It'd be nice if there was like another staircase here. That would honestly all that would needed, in my opinion. It's another staircase on this side here. Or like maybe a ramp up. You can climb this. This is possible. But it's kind of a hassle. There you go. See, it is kind of a hassle. But it'd be nice if there was like a ramp here. Or a staircase here. So that way you have another option for crossing from one side of the map to the other. It's still risky. I think the cover here is actually fine. Just a way up here would be nice. This building, I've got some words about this building. I think the car extract is nice. I think that's like near the hot spots, but it's also quite noticeable, and it shows up in the top right if somebody's using it. I don't think that's map specific, but just because of that, it makes the car like still risky, even though it's quite close to some of the hot spots of the map. I think this area is really nicely designed. I like this area a lot. You do have these like little edges with no loot and stuff. There is like this safe over here, for example, which has a chance to spawn some treasure in it. Nothing in it though. It's quite low because all the loot on this map is quite low, sadly. You're not really gonna find like crazy good stuff, but I think they could increase that. So, but just like there's definitely a lack of like boxes and stuff in some areas, because I do think they wanted to keep the loot a bit lower. Like there's some boxes out here. I think this area is quite nice. All this stuff. I think this building is quite nice, just the bottom of it here. Like this is all nice. There's a way to the underground, which is cool. I think all the ways to the underground and the ways to traverse between buildings, like in these buildings over here, is really nicely designed, and it flows really well with gameplay. That I really like about this map. I hate the design of this claymore. This is like Dark Souls map design. It's just like you have to just die to it once or see somebody else die to it to even know it exists. So I think that's just really stupid. Also, there's a locked safe in here for some reason, even though you need a key to get in there, but then the safe is locked. It's really weird, and it doesn't have a key. I feel like that's unintentional, but I also don't understand why. Oh no, you can search this. I thought this one was locked, but there's a different one that's locked. This has got issues, in my opinion. So this building has some barbed wire on the thing. This is really badly designed because, I mean, you give them sandbags up here too. They can just peek. They can hear the barbed wire. And what that means, not only can they camp it, and it either makes you jump over it, which means that you, like, are jumping, so you can't shoot back. You know what I mean? Or you walk through it, and if you walk through it, it makes a fuckload of noise. It slows you down, and it does actually hurt, like a decent amount. You can see I'm taking quite a bit of damage. This is just dumb. I have no idea why this barbed wire is here. Like, just remove it. Like, it's still, this spot is still very strong to camp. Like, you can see all the way down there. But the barbed wire just makes it almost impossible to push people up here. Like, it really does. I don't know what they were thinking by placing barbed wire there. It's just stupid. This building, though, is nice. I like that this window's so open. It's not like you've got, like, a really good sniping position. You're quite exposed up here. But then you do have this sniper window and the MG. I like this MG placement, especially if you put a tent down there. It'd be really nice to just light it up and go through the tent, you know what I mean? Put some good loot in that tent down there, and that could be a really fun location, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to go in the tent until later on in the raid, you know, make sure that this, like, building up here looks clear, and then you go up there, and then somebody could just fucking light it up, shoot through the tent, you know, try and wallbang you. That's cool, in my opinion, you know what I mean? I feel like that'd be a cool idea. So, this building is honestly fine. Just get rid of this barbed wire. Like, this barbed wire just needs to disappear. Like, it just needs to not exist. I thought about how you could maybe, if you vault, you could, like, get up. But no, the barbed wire is too big of a hitbox, so you'll still make the noise. So, it's just really badly designed, in my opinion. I don't know why they thought to put barbed wire in there. We can check out this building real quick. So this building over here, I think that these roads are pretty good. I think that they lead to some quite fun fights. They are quite exposed, but they do lead to some quite fun fights, especially shooting up at people in the buildings or shooting down on people. So, and it's a quick way to get around, but it's a risky way to get around. This building's cool. I like it. I feel like a little bit more cover in this part, because most of the time people just hug the wall. And some loot. This building has a very distinct lack of loot, which is kind of unfortunate. But these angles up here are really nice. You're quite exposed still, but you get quite nice angles around the map, so it's quite a nice spot to like sit and snipe. You can go up here, which is pretty cool. Get some nice shots on people. I like the big open exposed courtyard. It gives a unique feel to the map, I feel like, and it's quite like a hot spot. I do think that the spawns on this map are really fucked for sure. I do think that they did say they're going to reduce it though, so that's good. But I think that they could expand the map a little bit, and it might be better than just reducing the spawns. But for now, if they keep the map the same size, the spawns need to be reduced. I mean, obviously they're going to keep it the same size for the foreseeable future, but I'm talking like way in the future. If it gets an expansion, the player number could maybe go back up. You know what I mean? Especially in the 15 plus queue. But yeah, these sight angles are really cool, but you're quite exposed up here. Like, I think this building is nice. It just needs some loot or something. It's just a bit bland. That's all. A bit bland. I do feel like this map has quite a lot of potential, though, for them to just add more buildings. Like some of these destroyed buildings that are, like, blocked off and have a whole bunch of rubble. These could easily just be opened up. You know what I mean? They could easily just be opened up and added on. So I think that is cool. This is the start of being able to, like, these tunnels of going between buildings. This stuff's really cool, I think. This is quite unique. It adds a lot of, like, traversability to the map, and it feels nice to go through these tunnels. And they actually have a decent amount of loot in them. These actually usually have a bag or two, a weapon crate. So it's, like, really cool. I like this building is really well designed, I think. These can't be shot through, though. I think that needs to change. These are, like, kind of dumb that you can't shoot through these. I mean, as far as I can tell, they, like, 100% stop bullets, but they might just, like, stop 90% of them or something. This staircase is quite fun. I like this building a lot, honestly. It's quite exposed to be up here. Through these windows again. I like how exposed these windows are, so it's not super campable. But this building's really nice. And I like that there's two ways in and out. There's, like I said, weapon crates in these tunnels, which is quite nice. Like, just little bits of loot. This building as well is quite nice. I like these windows to shoot out of. They're kind of awkward, though. But I don't hate how awkward they are because you have to expose yourself. You can't sit, like, all the way back here. You have to kind of get up right on the window and make your head an easy target. You can also stand up here. Shoot people, which is quite nice. I like that you can't go too much higher, though. It's nice. This one's really well designed as well, in my opinion. And then there's this other door that leads back to the store. I think, like this, I don't know, this area feels a bit weird and, like, unfinished. Because, like, you can go in the bathroom, but there's nothing in here. But there's this door that you can breach. And there's some bones. I'm surprised there's not, like, some treasure loot in here. It could be cool if in the plus 15 queue there is treasure loot in there. Just to, like, up the loot a little bit, because the loot, like I said, is pretty bad on this map. There is another way down to the underground there, which is nice. It's nice that those are quite plentiful. I like this building. This building's quite nice as well. The glass on this map is really hard to see, but I have gotten better at it. You can also see that the glass is broken on the floor, but it's hard to notice. It's hard to notice, especially if your brightness is lower. Like there, I thought that was open because there is glass on the floor, but yeah. A lot of cabinets. This room's nice. I like this room. and there's multiple ways to get around it. This can lead to some fun fights. This... Oh, I got stuck there for a second. This... Up here is kind of interesting, but kind of useless. You can camp up here a little bit. People don't really expect you to be up here because there's nothing up here other than a dead body, but it's all right. I like this over here a little bit because while it's not a big deal, when you're heading to extract, you usually go over this barbed wire, and if you hit it, it's quite a telltale sign to everybody in the area of what you're doing. So it kind of gives you away a little bit. But you can take the safer route, or you can take the less safe route going up there, going out in the street, but that doesn't make the noise. I like this little building here. I think that there's a little bit of loot in it. It's coolly designed. It leads to some fun encounters if anybody's in it, or around it. This little area feels a bit empty, but it is kind of just building to building transition. This building, again, is incredibly campable. So this is another kind of like hotspot building. And I do think that this building kind of feels a little bit empty as well. Like this back area. Feels a bit empty back here. There is like a little room you can go into which has some food. Usually there's a little bit of food in here. Maybe. Sometimes. Yeah, not really. I swear I found food in here though. But again, it just feels a bit empty. And there's not really any reason for anybody to be down here. You know what I mean? The only reason you come up into this building is to go up the stairs to the room with the grenade launcher in it. So I really think that this should be opened up. Because of how campable this is, you could easily open up this side of the building here. That. And then you can go up 2 different ways. And then boom, all the camping problems of this building fixed. Get rid of the barbed wire, all the camping problems of that building fixed. I'm not sure how you'd fix the Terror Group building, but this room's nice. It's got some food, and you can find gold chains in here. A little bit of like treasure, chainlets and gold chains, but nothing too great. It'd be nice if, again, like in the plus 15 queue, there's like sometimes pro kills there or something like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, this building is extremely campable. One, there's a door here. There's a staircase, which you have angles on both sides, so they just have to hide behind that part of the staircase. You can watch them come up those stairs. They can come up the other stairs, but even if they do, then they're just there, which you have a good spot on. This is just way too campable. It's gross. I feel like it's intentional with how many of the hotspot buildings in this map have very campable locations, which I think is badly designed, but it seems intentional. These windows give you such a good vantage point over camping the extract. They are quite exposed, but I feel like it's a bit too campable. This spawns some food back here, that's fine. You could easily get rid of this rubble, though, and honestly, just get rid of the like invisible wall. Get rid of that little thing that's on the stairs and make it traversable from both sides, and boom, the camping problems are fixed here. There's a nice amount of loot in here, though. PCs, filing cabinets. I do feel like the loot isn't very varied on this map, though. It's like underground has a whole bunch of technical stuff, and then you've got a little bit of medical stuff at Emercom, and then food at like different locations, and then just filing cabinets and PCs at the hotspots, and that's all you got, basically. This grenade launcher is quite fun. I feel like it's got a very fun line of fire. You can light up that building. You can shoot. You could shoot at the tent. If there was a tent out there, you could shoot at the tent. Light up the tent. That could be kind of fun. I like that it can't turn too much to the right, though. Like you can't camp the extract. This was well placed and well designed. That's about it for this building. I'll run to the next one. So I think the next part is just the Nakatani basement stairs, the extract. I think that this extract is also incredibly campable. So this entire area here is just empty. From that point on, like from the barbed wire over there and the end of this building, there's nothing here, which I think is really badly designed. It just feels so empty. People usually just hug the outside to get to the extracts. It'd be nice if there was like a little something here. And also, another reason why the spawns might feel congested is because nobody spawns out here. You can't spawn out here. There's no spawns. Like, you'd think somebody could spawn there or like over there, but no, there's no spawns here, so they just kind of shove everybody else into the other side of the map. This part of the map does feel a bit unfinished. I think it'd be really nice if there was something else here, like one of these buildings was opened up, one of these two. Make this area feel a little bit less empty. Or make it so that the underground is extended a little bit and you can actually come up through here like on Emercom exit. Because right now, if you want to come to this exit, most of the time you either jump the barbed wire, hug the wall, and go around, or you go the outside of this building, run around, and hug the wall and go to the extract. It's quite repetitive. I feel like this extract takes so much longer to get to and is quite a long, repetitive path compared to the Emercom one. And there's no loot out here or anything, so it just feels like you're making a long run to the extract. It's kind of boring. I feel like there needs to be something else out here. It's just kind of boring and repetitive. I think you extend the map a little bit by opening up one of those two buildings, or make like an underground part that extends up into here, or one of these buildings you come up through the underground. That'd be pretty cool. I think this part is fine because like you're just going to extract, you know what I mean? Like, but something more on that side I think would be good. Because there's a lot of dead space on that side of the map. Like from the bank building all the way to here, there is nothing. Like that's pretty badly designed in my opinion. Like from the bank building with the barbed wire on the second floor, from to here, there is nothing on this side of the map, which is just weird. This room, I think, I get that like there's no way to make this not campable because people are going to camp this extract. This extract's pretty campable. I would close this elevator because it just makes an extra thing you have to check. I mean, somebody could easily be sitting here and you could also have a friend sitting in the doorway, and then it's a guaranteed kill. You know what I mean? They can't kill both of you. It's impossible if you just not be idiots. So I think that just close off this elevator. I get that it's hard to stop people camping this, so close off the elevator, and then you're fine, right? Like, you know, then it's still a campable extract, but it's not, like, more campable than they... Like, they're not causing it to be campable, if that makes sense. It's just the way that it's designed. Or the way it looks, if that makes sense. So, just close off this elevator. It doesn't need to be open. It just creates an extra angle you have to check while you're going through, which is kind of annoying. Alright, now we're going to run through. I'm going to do the underground now, because it'll be a good way to traverse back, while also still looking at fresh stuff. So yeah, like, you can't go underground here, and there's no building to go underground over there. You can't get underground there. So the nearest way you can get underground is this building over here, which is kind of annoying. I think that the underground should extend more, because it only extends to, like, it extends all the way to the Emercom exit, but it doesn't extend that far on this side. And that'd be fine if, like, this side had a lot of stuff going on up top, but it has nothing going on up top, and there's nothing going on underground, so that's just a bit of a shame. So we'll go back underground. The underground has really good loot, honestly. Like, even for, like, low level, it has quite a lot of loot. These stairs, I think, are actually fine designed. I haven't actually had really many fights on them, because I think most people just go to where they're going through them. But I don't think they're, like, badly designed or anything. The underground, I actually think, is quite well designed. I think everything down here is fine. I think... Like I said, though, this should be extended a little bit more, just so that you can go up top some other ways on the other side of the road near the extract, you know what I mean? Make it less repetitive, different ways to get to the extract, you know what I mean? Especially if you want some more loot, or you have a mission or something like that. That kind of stuff. These crates, this room is pretty cool. Like, I mean, pretty much everything down in the underground. I've spent quite a lot of time down here. I think this part of the map's actually quite well designed. And scavs do like to come down here, which is nice. I do think it'd be cool if the scavs patrolled the buildings a little bit more. Unless you make noise in a building, scavs don't normally go down there, or go into them, which is a little bit unfortunate. I do like the scavs, how much they explore, like, the underground. You usually do find, like, a couple scavs roaming in the dark, which is kind of cool. The loot down here is pretty good. Like, there's usually loot in that crate there. Little loose loot. There's the 3 technical crates back there. This feels really unfinished. I do feel like another extract would be good. This could be like a no backpack extract. You know what I mean? Very easily. I feel like you could, like, because I honestly thought it was when I first saw the green light up there. This could be like a no backpack green extract, which would be cool. There's nothing in this van for some reason. I'm not sure why. Like, it looks really special, but then you go in here and there's... In here, it's just a whole bunch of dead animals. Piggies. So, this side of the underground is actually a little bit less loot packed. Other than the 3 technical crates, there's not too much else. The other side has got so much more loot. It makes this kind of the, like, side of the map just feel a lot unfinished for some reason. I should have brought the keys to open the doors, but I didn't think about that. But this little part is cool. I would like it if there was a little bit more cars or cover on these pathways. There's a little bit, like, there's kind of just no cover, which feels a bit unfortunate. It just feels a bit empty. This little locked room down here is quite nice. There's actually quite a bit of loot in it, so it's cool, and it's nicely placed. And this side of the map of the underground has quite a lot of loot, like, genuinely. You've got 3 technical supply crates over there, which are quite exposed, which I like. You usually find a lot of fights in this area, which is cool. Quite fun to fight down here. You've got some loot that spawns, like, on these pallets, loose loot, which is pretty nice. Got another technical supply crate. Got another technical supply crate in here. Dead body as well. Loose loot that spawns on these. Right here. And you've got a dead body and a duffel bag, toolbox, sometimes a duffel bag there. So there's quite a lot of loot down here, which is nice. And you've got this on-ramp, which is a really nice way to get to Emercom semi-safely. And, because obviously there could be people down there, there could be scavs down there. And you can get to Emercom straight through here, which is pretty cool. So, big fan of the underground part. I think that a little bit more loot on the other side and another way up on the other side, a little bit further in, like on one of those buildings on the left side of the road, would be really cool. This side of the road from here, so we're back at Emercom now. This side of the road here, I like this building. I do think that it would be nice if... See, I couldn't even see that glass. It would be nice if these doors were open, but I don't mind that they're not. You just have to break them with a melee weapon. This room doesn't really have anything in it, which is a bit unfortunate, but it's a bit of a transition room. This takes you to the underground here, which is nice. And this is another one of those tunnels from room to room, which is pretty cool. It takes you into this wine room, which is pretty cool. I like these tunnels from room to room. I think they're quite cool. I think there could be a little bit more loot in here. There's not really much in here, but it's more of a transition room, which is sad because it's really cool designed, honestly. And this little road here is nice. There's another little technical supply crate. These are just like, these roads are nice. I like them on both sides. I think they're quite cool. There's a whole bunch of loot on top of that staircase over there. I think the staircase is really fun as well. A couple dead bodies, which are good to loot. So, like, there is decent loot spread around some of the parts of the map, but some not so much. There's a couple ammo crates that sometimes spawn there, which is pretty nice. The little, like, small brown ones. I think that this flare is cool to have as a 100% guaranteed spawn at below level 15, but above level 15, they should disable it, I think. I think this flare extract's pretty cool, though. You can get shot through those metal grates, which is not super cool. Maybe putting some wood paneling there would be nice, but it's not the end of the world. Oh god, I'm low on energy. I didn't even realize. I guess it's because I'm sprinting so much. We will go over here, and I'll talk about this area before we continue, because there's food over here. This area is like this little courtyard outside. There's no loot, really, which is a bit of a shame. Like, just this whole area. But these buildings are cool. I like these 2 buildings. You can get up here, and... drink some stuff. There's a lot of food in this room. This cafe. It's pretty nice. A lot of things you can eat and drink. I'm dying, actually. We're good. Yeah, a lot of things you can eat and drink in here, which is nice. So if you need food. Yeah, we're good on hydration mostly. This room is also quite nice. I like this area here. Quite nice design, this building. This is what takes you up to that hotel up top. I'm not going to go all the way, but you'll see the staircase. The building with the doors that I said shouldn't be broken. So again, another little like nice tunnel from building to building. I really like these. I think they're really cool designed, and it gives the map kind of a unique feel. It kind of reminds you of Labs a little bit, being able to like go through these like side tunnels, but building to building is much cooler than just like room to room inside like a complex. This, like I said, it'd be nice if there was some loot out here. Maybe some paneling on the walls so you can't shoot at people extracting. I've killed like 2 people extracting before because I've just been here. They've shot the flare, run out, and I've killed them. But it does give like a nice map design feel, right? It'd be nice if there was like some duffel bags down here or something. This takes you back to Emercom. I like these little blocky stairs. They're quite unique. And getting back to Emercom that way. It's pretty cool. I think there's only one last little area to talk about. That'll be it. And that'll be pretty much my entire thoughts on the whole map. I do think the map is good, and it feels unique, but they need to do some changes to it for sure, I think. Like, there's some issues that... Like, the buildings just being super campable, that side of the map being quite, like, dead, and, like, there's... very repetitive to get to that extract, and also it just is much longer to go than Emercom. So if you spawn on one side of the map, just have a much longer way to travel and a much more like empty way to travel, which is kind of just bad. And also the loot being a bit low and the spawns. I think those are like the 4 big things that need to be fixed for sure. I think that the spawns and that side of the map being a bit empty, this side, could be fixed by just adding another little area, another couple buildings, like those 2 buildings that I pointed out, just opening those up, adding some loot in them, and making an underground entrance there. And I think that would open it, and extending the underground a little bit, maybe making the big tunnel, you can escape through that as well. And then some loose loot in like the open courtyard there before you get to Nakatani. I think that is, like, honestly fixes a lot of the issues of the map. So, and then you can easily fix some of the campable rooms. Like, the ways I pointed out, easily fix them. This area is pretty cool. I like the feel of this area. There is quite campable from up on there. But people aren't going to stay there a whole bunch or, like, camp it because it's not a hot spot or anything. I think it looks quite nice. The mines are not super apparent where they are, to be honest. But you can go into this room. Not a lot of people know that, because they think it's like mined up, but there is loot in here. Some PCs, toolbox sometimes, a couple toolboxes, because it is random now where some of this loot spawns. Some loose stuff on the tables, and there's a safe here. So I like this area a lot, actually. This area is quite nice. And this area up here has some loot on it and leads you back up. This staircase is really fun as well. I think this is a fun design. It gives the people up top an advantage, but not like invincible or anything. So, and there's usually like a med bag and some toolboxes here and a big weapon crate, which is cool. And a body there, and this leads you back to that hotel that you could snipe from upstairs. So I think that's about the whole map. Oh, I don't usually go up the on-ramp, but there is loot up there, I think. I do like how you can get up the ramp. We'll go look inside the back of the truck, because it's quite dangerous to go down this middle road. But I think that's fine. Sometimes there is some maps on it, like areas on a map which are just too dangerous to traverse most of the time. That doesn't mean that they need to be removed or changed. That just, if it's fine for gameplay, it's fine for gameplay. You can get up here, I'm almost certain. Maybe you can. Oh, you can stand on that. Is there anything in here? Oh, there's a big weapon crate. Can't loot it though. I think it's there is a couple weapon crates on this map that I think are bugged. They like sometimes spawn, but you can't loot them. But I think it's to do with the random loot. Sometimes the loot crate will spawn, but not actually be lootable, if that makes sense. But that should be about it. I think this part of the map, maybe a little bit more cover here would be nice, because like this is a bit open, right? Like this part's not too bad. You got a car there, truck here. Like this part is just death usually. But yeah, I think that's about it. I think overall, like I said, it's those 4 main problems. The loot's a bit low. Some areas feel a bit empty. That side of the map feels definitely empty and is a bit repetitive to extract from. And some of the buildings are really campy. And the spawns are really bad. But they did say they were going to reduce the amount of people on the map. So, overall, I think it's a cool addition to the game. And I'm happy they are letting you play it past level 20. Because I think it's just a shame to have any map locked. Because it just means less variety. You know what I mean? Like, I think that having it in 2 different queues is a great idea. So, I think, like, opening it up to everybody would defeat the purpose of it being a beginner map. And I do think it's a decent beginner map if you just reduce the spawns a little bit. And I don't think that the loot really needs to be increased if, like, on the beginner version of the map. Maybe on the level 15 version it does. But I think all the changes I suggested and additions should be added to both versions of the map. I don't think there's any reason not to. So, overall, A+. Hopefully it was interesting to see and walk around the map and hear what I had to say. And that is going to be about it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos I post. You can also check out my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/gamertie108 where I stream every day starting at roughly 4 AM EST.